So welcome to TechnoDadLife, where we build, learn, and create as a community. And on today's episode, we're going to be installing Qbittorrent onto our server using Portainer. And so this is just Qbittorrent. If you don't know what it is a BitTorrent program, which you can legally download different files. Of course, make sure you don't download anything illegal. And Portainer is the GUI for Docker that we're going to be using to make this install very easy. And if you like this video, make sure you like, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and here we go now. And a special thanks to all my patrons who, without your support, this channel would not be possible. And if you haven't already, please think about becoming a patron and supporting the channel you love. Thank you. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is open up Portainer. And so open up your Portainer and log in. Once we're logged in, click on Local. And then go to the left, click on Containers. Then click Add Container. And so now we're going to split the screen. So the container we're going to add is Linux servers Qbittorrent. So we're going to type Qbittorrent for the name. We can copy the name at the top there, paste that in here. Then we're going to scroll down on this side to the usage area. And we're going to publish our ports. And so our ports are right here. So the first one is 6881. And we're going to do that to 6881. And the first one is TCP. And then we're going to publish a second port. That again is 6881 to 6881. And that's UDP. And publish one more port, and this one is 8080 and 8080. Now if we scroll down to the bottom, we're going to click on volumes, and yours will be diagonally here. And then click map additional volumes. So we just need two volumes, so our configuration and our downloads. So if we go to our Open Media Vault server, double click on that. If it doesn't open, you have a couple options here, but usually what ends up happening is Docker switches the permissions on the folder, so we'll just click cancel. We'll go to our Open Media Vault server, and if you followed my tutorial on how to install, you can go to Flash or Shared Folders. We're going to make this a little bit bigger. Click on Reset Permissions. And so what we want is everyone read write and clear all ACLs. And so what we're going to do is go to each folder, Reset Permissions, close, go to our next folder, Reset Permissions, close. And then finally our last folder, the media, reset permissions, and then close. Now we're going to go back to our Open Media Vault. We can double click on it, and now we can get inside of that folder. And so here we look at, so we need app data and downloads. So what we're going to do is create an app data or a folder for Qbittorrent in our app data, and then in downloads we're going to create a downloads folder. So first we have to go to Portainer, and all we have to do is copy configuration or config, paste that here, click bind, and then for our path we go back to our shared folders, and we look at the absolute path, and so here it's /server/dev/dis-by-label-data-disk and then /app-data. And if this isn't showing up, all you have to do is click on the down arrow, go to columns, and then click absolute path, and that will show you that. So we go back to Portainer, and when you put in the first part of our thing there, then we put app data, and then since this is for Qbittorrent, we're going to put / and Qbittorrent, and then /, and then we're going to map additional volume and scroll down, and so this one is for downloads. So we copy downloads, paste that there, click bind, copy the first half here, paste that there, then type in downloads, and then you can / BitTorrent, and then /, and so there we've mapped our volumes. Next we'll click on network, and we can leave this as bridge. Then environmental variables, and so those are with the E over here. So we click add environmental variable, and the first one is PUID. And then how we find that is we open up PuTTY and then log into our server with whatever IP address you have. And so your IP address is this number right there. Click open, and you may have to click yes there if it asks you. Log in as root and your server password. Then type in ID and your username, and then hit enter. So your GUID is your UID, and that's 1000 for me, and PGID is the GID, and that's 100. We can click close. So this is 1000. Add the second one, PGID. That's 100. Add our next variable, and so this one is time zone, so TZ. And so my time zone is America, New York. Add our third time zone, this is UMask. And the value for that is 022. And finally, we're going to add in our web UI ports. And so this is going to be port 8080. Now if we scroll back up again, we don't need any labels, but we do have a restart policy. So we're going to click on restart policy. And so down here at the bottom are our options. And so basically what these will do is if it stops working, it'll never restop, or it will always restop, or we'll restart on failure, or it will restart unless it has been stopped by us. And so we're going to click that last one. And so that's it for our information over here. So what we can do, we'll go full screen again. And looks like we have everything in. And so now what we're going to do is go to deploy container, and we're going to click on that, and that will download Qbittorrent and start it up. Okay, so now Qbittorrent is up and running, and so the first thing we're going to do is click on this little piece of paper there and see if everything is functioning correctly. And so what this does is it brings up the logs and seems to be fine. So if we go back over to the Docker page, we can see to log in we need our IP address and then 8080. And then the username and password is admin and then admin. So let's copy our IP address, paste this here, and then we're going to put :8080 and then hit enter. And the password was admin and admin. And so now we're logged into Qbittorrent. Okay, so now let's try adding a torrent. So we click on the top left here, add torrents. And what we can do is, so we'll go over to Ubuntu Downloader, and they have a BitTorrent section. And so we're going to copy the address from here. I'm going to go back to Qbittorrent, and we're going to paste that here. Then download. And there it started downloading. And so that is how you add Qbittorrent to Portainer. And hope you found this helpful, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.